Hey everyone, welcome to a new Google Ads video. In this video, I want to dive into assets, what used to be called extensions. It gets a little bit confusing sometimes because headlines and descriptions are also called assets, but I am talking about the additional things you can add to your ad. There are quite a lot of different possibilities, some better than others, so let's get into it. So first, images, which is my favorite one. Image assets allow you to add an image to appear next to your ad text. In the accounts I manage, I find this really helps with CTR, and when I'm just browsing for myself, I am also more inclined to click on the ads with an image. My attention automatically goes there before it goes to the text. Now, if you're just starting out on a new account, unfortunately, you cannot get started with image assets right away because there are some requirements, such as your account needs to have been open for at least 60 days, and it needs to have accrued spend on a search campaign in the past 28 days. And also important to note, sensitive verticals cannot use image assets. Now, it does say a square image is required, but if you only have a landscape image, Google will crop this automatically, or you can choose exactly how you would like to crop it. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that the landscape version actually needs to be good to crop, because sometimes zoomed in, it will make it difficult to distinguish. Also, this is not a display campaign, so it needs to be an image, not a graphic. Next is kind of two-in-one, business name and business logo. You can get started on this with a new account. However, there is another requirement. You need to have completed Advertiser Verification. Eventually, this will be mandatory for all accounts and every quarter, I think. There's a new batch of accounts that will get the invitation from Google. However, you can also submit this proactively. In all accounts I'm working on, I always encourage the person I'm working with to go through the verification process because I think it looks way more professional when you have your business name and logo in your ad. Next up, we have sitelinks. These are probably the most well-known. I've been working with Google Ads for 5 years, and while a lot of things, such as image assets, have been added in their time, sitelinks were around long before I jumped into the picture. With sitelinks, you can send people directly to a different page on your website. This can also work with anchored links for one-page websites, but of course it is best if you have multiple pages on your website. Now, headlines and descriptions on campaign level. This is a relatively new asset. Unlike most assets, this is not available on account level and only on campaign level. Now, I've not set up a lot of new campaigns since this came out, so I don't have a lot of experience with it. But what you can do here is when you have a campaign with separate ad groups, but you have identical headlines or descriptions that are a little bit more generic about your business in both of those ad groups. Now, you can add those headlines and description on campaign level. You can also pin them. So if you have compliance or other reasons that something must always be shown in the first headline slot, you can now do this at campaign level. Callouts is another one that has been around for a long time, and it's all pretty straightforward. With callouts, you can highlight some business offerings, such as 24/7 customer support or free shipping. Now, quite similar to callouts are structured snippets. Structured snippets also highlight offerings of your business, but it puts them in certain categories, such as brands or destinations. Call assets allow you to add a phone number to your ad text. You can add your own number or Google's forwarding number. Personally, I do not recommend Google's forwarding number because it gets rotated, which means that if a customer calls you 1 week and saves that number, when they call again a few weeks later, they could end up with a completely different business. If phone calls are a very important way for your business to get business, I would recommend going with a third-party call tracker to get better insights on how your call assets perform. Next, lead forms. Personally, I don't like to use these, but I feel like there was a lot of hype about them when they came out. So a lead form asset allows you to add a lead form within your ad. The thing is, when people click to open, it will count as a click and you need to pay for it. When they actually submit the lead form, it will count as a conversion. If you do use lead forms, be sure you don't add too many questions as people will be less likely to submit it, and if they give up halfway through, you're still paying for that click. You can download the submissions from your Google Ads account, or you can set up a webhook integration. If you'd like me to make another video about the technical specifications of setting up a lead form asset, let me know in the comments down below. Now, something that is relatively new is you can create an audience based on your lead form submissions. Of course, this is really only relevant when you have a large budget and tons of clicks. Location assets has two different use cases, and that used to be actually two different extensions: your own locations and affiliate locations. If you want to use your own location, for example your car dealership, you will need a Google business profile, and that way you can link the location via your Google Ads account. But maybe you don't have your own location, but you sell your product at Target or Walmart. Then you can use those as an affiliate location. If you want me to get into the details of the technical setup, please let me know in the comments below, and perhaps I can make a separate video about it. Price assets is another one that is pretty straightforward, and I like to use this whenever possible. Now, when setting up price extensions, there are actually predefined types, and you need to make sure that whatever you're setting your price for fits into those types. Then, just because it goes well with price, I am jumping right ahead to promotions. With promotion assets, you can showcase, promotions. And you can even choose an occasion for it, but you can also simply choose none, which you can run year-round. You can choose a monetary discount or a % discount, and you can even add a promo code right into the ad. Then finally, you can also add your app to your ad and can help you get some downloads, but if you want to actually promote certain actions within your app, you're better off with an app campaign. So there you have it, a quick summary of all the assets or extensions that are available to add to your ad to make it stand out a bit more. As always, if you have any questions, let me know down below. And if you want me to dive into more details for a specific type of assets, I might make a different video about that in the future. So for now, I just wish you a great day and good luck with your Google Ads accounts.